Hello, Sandy Run Middle School. My name is Mrs. Ward and I am the supervisor of guidance. Welcome to our presentation today. We are going to talk about what life is like at Upper Dublin High School and talk about course selection. Recently, you've received some materials about how to choose your classes at Upper Dublin High School, and we would like you to be well informed and make educated decisions on classes you can take here. So I have 4 seniors here with me. In a moment, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. But first, I want to share that these students have gone through the course selection process 4 times. They are very experienced and knowledgeable, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from them as you navigate your way through course selection. Seniors, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Kyra. I'm on the girls tennis team. I'm the president of the Health and Wellness Club. I'm an officer of Key Club and on the board of Minithon, and I'm also involved with SGA and NHS. For the future, I haven't chosen a school yet, but I'm planning on studying neuroscience on the pre-med track.
Great, thank you.
Hello, my name's Angelo Sermonera. I run track here at the school. I'm the president of Spanish Club. I'm on the board for FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. I'm involved in NHS and SGA and also Investments Club. I plan on studying business in the future. I'm not sure at which college yet. I still have a little bit of time to decide, so that's where my near future is.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cecily Johnson, and I am an officer of our school's film club. I am the art and photography editor of our literary magazine, Rhapsody, and I am the president of the National Honor Society. I'm also involved in the school's choir, orchestra, and drama club. And in the fall, I'm also not sure of where I'm going yet, but I plan on majoring in film and television production.
Hi, I'm Aiden Pullian. I'm a member of Vox, which is the acapella group at our high school. So if you inquire, you can try it for that. I'm also a chairman of the choir board and a chairman of the advocacy club. And outside of school, I'm involved with the Jack and Jump, vice president of my chapter. And in the fall, I'll be going to Morehouse College. So I'm looking forward to that, majoring in TV and media.
Thank you so much. As our listeners can hear, we have a very active group of seniors right now, very involved, very engaged. And looking forward to hearing your insight on how you manage your time with all of the things that you do. I'm gonna go through and ask our seniors some questions about what their experience has been like. But first, I'm going to start with what life is like at the high school. As a 9th grader, you will take 7 classes in the building. Of those 7, 4 typically are English, math, science, and social studies. Another core class that you may have could be world language and reading. So again, that's 5 of your 7 periods of the day. Your additional period, you have to take physical education every year, and you can weave in elective classes opposite those physical education days and that additional 7th period day. So all of that being said, you're going back to your core classes, your 4 core classes that you'll take as a 9th grader. Typically, students choose between 2 levels. You can either take an honors core class or an academic core class. Honors biology, literary genres, math, and Rise of Modern America, which is your social studies class. Seniors, what can you share with our viewers as to your experience taking honors and academic? What are the differences? What can they expect when they have what can they expect in deciding what level they should take or what's right for them?
Well, I would say the main difference between honors and academic is the workload. So you're going to be having to do a lot of work on your own, apart from homework and what's assigned to you, just so you like keep track of like where you are. And tests are also harder. The more questions are like applied questions rather than just like regurgitating what you learned. And it is more rigorous and it moves faster, even though you're learning the same information as you are in academic.
Yes, just adding on to that, with honors classes, you tend to have less assigned work, and it's just more expected that you review the material on your own. For example, in my 9th grade biology class, we were given homework almost every night, but our teacher would say, here's the worksheet, do it if you want, it's not required, but it'll help you. And I didn't really know how to study, so I didn't do it, and that reflected in my test grades. So it's definitely just a matter of how independently you can learn, and which course you're willing to take based off of that.
So what I'm hearing that in an honors course, work might not be required, but expected of you to do at an independent pace. Whereas more in an academic level class, a teacher may guide you more through the assignment and be available to kind of troubleshoot or problem solve questions that you have pertaining to the rigor or the workload. Does that sound about right? What can you all tell me about elective classes? When you choose elective classes, are there expectations for work that you have to do outside of the class with those courses as well?
Depending on the type of elective you take, you may have work outside of the class. For example, if you take a 5-day elective, sometimes you'll have homework in those courses, but a lot of times with the 5 days as well, there'll be tests and midterm and final exams. For example, I took intro to business in my freshman year, and we had tests, midterms, finals. I think child development's the same way. Typically, the 2 and 3-day electives don't really have exams and work outside of school like that. And all of these courses are outlined in the program of studies. So if you want to see what any of them are about or kind of the level of them, you can see that in the program of studies.
Angela, that was an excellent point. So course descriptions for each and every one of our classes is available in the program of studies. Students and parents can read what the expectations are, what you will be doing in all of the classes, and you can get a better sense of what you'll have to do in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So again, as I go back to that 7 periods where students can select classes, it's important to know what's expected of you and what that 7-period day could look like. Now let's talk about study hall. So as a student has core classes and elective classes, they also could have an opportunity where they have a study hall embedded throughout their day. Now at Sandy Run Middle School, students have something called ARP, which was also previously known as advisory. And this is a time where students meet with a teacher and can review work, missed assignments, and kind of talk through coursework as needed. We don't have that here at the high school. We have something that's called study hall. And could I ask someone to share what their experience has been in study hall and maybe your advice or opinion on whether or not a student should have a study hall embedded throughout their 7-period day?
Yeah, sure. I'll take this one. So what study hall is that it's a full-length period of just a time where you can either go seek help from a teacher, work on your own stuff independently, or just do whatever you need to like prepare yourself for the rest of the school day or get caught up in work that you're behind in. And so freshman year, I had 0 study halls, but I also didn't take all honors classes, so I was able to handle my work at home. And then sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, I've had study halls. And they're really great just for, I don't like doing homework at home, so it's just great to be able to do it in school and go home and just be free and just like, chill.
Yes, for me, my freshman year, I had 1 study hall, and somehow even just having that 1 period was enough in some cases. So it also just really depends on how much work you're willing to do at home and how many extracurriculars you're in, and then balancing that with what you want to do during your study hall.
So what I'm hearing from you is that it's important to know yourself and how you manage your time in and out of school to determine whether or not you're going to effectively use study hall time throughout the school day. If you want more free time after school, or maybe you're very involved with extracurricular activities or events after school, maybe it's a good idea to have a study hall embedded in your day so that you can get at your schoolwork to free up your time after school. Or maybe if you need some extra help or assistance from teachers, study halls might be a good idea so that you can interact with teachers throughout the day as well. All right, I heard you say it. Let's talk about homework. What does homework look like at the high school? Now, again, we've got core classes, could be honors or academic. We've got elective classes that could have exams and projects attached to it. Can you give me a sense, can you give our group here a sense of what does homework look like for a ninth grader?
Yeah. So something that I want to stress is that you're not going to have the same amount of homework each day. And each class, you're going to have a different amount. Like, for example, in a math class, you might have homework each night, but it could be a few problems or a worksheet. But for classes like English, for example, you might not have homework every night, but you will have more long-term assignments where you have a reading or an essay or something like that. So it really is different each night. And to add on to that, you also have to add studying time. So my advice would just be to manage your time wisely and use like study hall if you have any, and study for tests or get homework done then.
Beginning, you gave a summary about your extracurricular involvements. We have athletes, we have leaders, we have presidents, allied arts, business. This is a very involved group. What suggestions do you have? And Aiden, you spoke a little bit about this already. What suggestions do you have for the group? How should they choose classes that are good for them, and also balance or manage their time outside of the school day? What kind of advice do you have?
Well, the great thing about high school is that you have 4 years to find out what you like. So, for example, the electives I take right now are choir, which y'all should join, and also film production or advanced film production. And so, freshman year, my friend and I, we made like a video for a few projects in middle school. We like enjoyed it a little bit. So like, oh, maybe we should take film production, and we did. And now I'm going to college for it just because on a whim I was like, maybe I'll like that class. So if you think you'll like something, take a chance. You have 4 years to figure out what you want to do. So just take a chance because you might find a new passion. You might find something that you love. So don't be afraid to take a little risk when selecting an elective.
You do have a wide range of elective choices to choose from coming into the high school. So it's really important that you know what your options are. Soon you will participate in a curriculum fair where you'll learn more about elective choices. And it's really important you choose courses that you want to take for you, that you have an interest in. And as Aiden mentioned, you can change those decisions year after year because you have 4 years of high school and lots of opportunities to take other classes. All right, another question I have for the group. Can you share with the group, with our viewers, how do you access help if you are possibly struggling in a class or you need extra support? Where do you go? What are your resources?
So there are a lot of things that you can do for extra help in the high school. I think what I would recommend and what I think is the best choice to do is to seek your teacher for extra help. And teachers are usually available before school, after school. Sometimes you might have a study hall that lines up with them. But in addition to that, you can go to the TLC, which is the Teaching Learning Center. And in there will be teachers of the same subject who can help you with what you're learning. There will be NHS tutors. So there's really a lot of options that you can utilize, and make the most of those options if you're someone who is seeking extra assistance.
Great. Thank you, Angelo. We are just about out of time. One last question. If you all could briefly share any closing advice or remarks to our 8th grade students here, what advice do you have for them as they're about to select classes and enter the high school next year?
I would say just follow your passions. And I know it seems scary going into a new school and being the youngest people, and it's a new building, and it can be overwhelming, but you're going to find your place, and just join clubs and get involved and just see what you really like and what you don't like, and it'll be fun.
High school really is what you make of it. It's important to challenge yourself, to push your limits, and to get involved. But it's also important to find that balance and stay sane and have a social life and still do well in school.
I recommend that you take this time to really experiment and not be afraid to make different choices, especially with the clubs and extracurriculars you choose, because you are going to have some friends who go into high school, they immediately find their favorite 2 or 3 clubs that they want to stick with for the rest of high school, and they love them all 4 years. And then you're going to have some friends who might be in a completely different set of clubs senior year than they were freshman year. And both of those are completely okay. It just depends on how willing you are to really step out of your comfort zone and join new clubs, even if you aren't a freshman.
And my advice would be two things. Just be yourself. Don't be afraid to, like, if you know what you like what you like, and that's fine. Don't let others limit what you can do because you're afraid of not fitting in. And then this one's for all the athletes or students who are planning on being athletes. I played 3 sports my freshman year. Just do your homework. Stay on top of your grades. Don't be the guy or gal who's on academic probation because you didn't do your work. Don't be it. Don't be that person.
All right, well said, group. In a few minutes, you'll see us for a Q&A. Hope you enjoyed our video, and we look forward to having you at the high school soon. Thank you so much.